Okay, before we start on fetal circulation and blood pressure, I wanted to take a minute here to go through this worksheet here that has to do with systemic and pulmonary circulation. We're going to start by actually drawing in our arrows that show the direction of blood flow. And we're going to start with the one that's already been drawn in for you. If the blood is going up in that direction of the arrow, then it is also going to go across the capillaries of the head and arms towards the left, and then return back down to the heart through the superior vena cava. It is then going to enter the heart here at the right atrium, go down into the right ventricle, and then up out of the right ventricle into the pulmonary arteries. It's going to enter the capillaries of the left lung and the right lung and travel back to the heart through the veins to the left atrium and then into the left ventricle and up and out through the aorta. Now, it can go through the path that we've already just traced, or it can come actually down and around and go down into the capillaries of the arms and legs, or the legs. And then it would come left across those capillaries and then back up to the heart, completing the circuit through the inferior vena cava. Now, the second thing that we have to do is we actually need to designate what areas are oxygen-rich versus oxygen-poor. And to do that, we're going to color the oxygen-rich blood red. We know that when blood travels to the body, here, out of the heart, coming out of the heart, that it is oxygen-rich. So as it goes across these capillaries, it is oxygen-rich. As it goes across, it drops off that oxygen, so it switches to becoming oxygen poor. It then travels back down to the heart that way. So all of this blood here in the right-hand side and then out through the pulmonary arteries is all oxygen poor. Into the capillaries of the lungs. Now, in the lungs, we get the gas exchange taking place. So the capillaries in the lungs, the blood drops off the carbon dioxide and picks up oxygen and returns to the heart as oxygen-rich blood. It then goes through the left-hand side of the heart and then back up out through the heart into the aorta. And then it can come down here to the capillaries of the arms and the legs from the heart. Again, it drops off its oxygen, picks up its carbon dioxide, and then returns back to the heart as low oxygen blood. The last thing that we need to do is we need to indicate which parts of this are representative of systemic circulation and which parts of these are representative of pulmonary circulation. You can see that the diagram is actually oriented, so we've got two systems, one going horizontally and one going vertically. So this part here is the pulmonary system, because it involves circulation between the heart and the lungs. This part here is the systemic circulation, because it is between the heart and the body. Now, the heart itself is neither pulmonary nor systemic because it actually is responsible for the flow of blood between both systems. What you will notice is in the pulmonary system, arteries are oxygen poor, veins are oxygen rich. In the systemic circulation, arteries are oxygen rich, where the veins are oxygen poor. Now, in the next section, we're going to talk about fetal circulation as well as blood pressure, and then we'll move on to the conducting system of the heart.